So let's say I'm starting new project, I'm adding it to my atom, and it's empty, there is nothing there. I'm gonna create index.html file. There is something that is called emmet, which will do this thing for you. It like types everything for you, like test website. It does autocomplete for you, so it's kind of speed you up with a lot of things. So I save this file here, and I'm ready to start tracking this work. So I'm gonna go here and open my terminal, and let me zoom in. So I have a shortcut that I went straight to that test. You will have to navigate your command line. You will go CD, and then on Mac you would do was it like, we will check what is the location in MEMP and XAMPP, but you will have to navigate to that htdocs folder. I'm thinking about shortcut. I can help you with that after. Let's just keep going now. But the ways you need to go CD on Windows, you go C and then / and then XAMPP and then htdocs and then your folder test, right? That's what get you to that folder. So you gotta be inside that folder in your terminal. And then now I wanna do git init, which means
New.
Initialize your Git project, right? Like you telling, okay, do whatever you need to do, but from now on I want to track this folder, what I'm doing here. Then you all you do is you just click this, and it says initialized empty Git repository in this location. Users, then my name, username, documents, whatever is located. For you, it's gonna be different. It's going to be XAMPP or MEMP and then htdocs and then that folder.
So it already knows that it's the C drive?
It will know if you navigate there. You gotta navigate inside that. You don't have to do it now. You can just watch and try to follow to understand what is going on. I'm afraid if you try to do it at the same time, we're not gonna get in time done, and just follow for now and practice later at home, try to practice these things. So now we initialized this Git. So now it knows we want to track whatever happens inside this folder, we want to track. So if you do git status is another command, and those commands you have in the previous class slides, you can go back and kind of see and try them out. But git status will give you a status of what is going on in this file, what happened since we start tracking. So since we start tracking, it sees this index.html file and it says, oh, it's untracked. It colors red always, so you know this file is new or it's edited and we did not submit it anywhere, so it's changed, it's untracked. So we want to start tracking this file. So we want to say, okay, git add is your next step, and you want to say git is always start with git when you do git commands, and add is you saying I want to add this file into the staging space. Like I want to say that I track this file from now on. So I say git add, and you want to do index HTML. You want to name the file that you want to track, and you press enter, and this something happened. If you run again git status, it's now green and it says changes to be committed. So you added this file to staging, but you didn't push it anywhere yet. You didn't commit those changes. You just kind of prepare them. You say, okay, this is now ready to be committed. So your next step, your first step is git add, and your next step is git commit. So git commit is, okay, now whatever file or files I have in green or I have pushed to stage environment, I want now to commit them to the repository. And you always do a message with that commit, and you do that by -m, and then in quotes you want to always describe the best you can what you're doing, right? So for us it's first time commit, so it doesn't make sense to describe what we do, so we're just gonna do initial commit, and we press enter, and it says one file changed, 12 lines, whatever, and then created mode, created master branch by default. So master is like a default branch, default tree, right? There is gonna be different tracks during your work. So master is like default tree. This is master, and then this is our first initial commit, and all our code now we pushed to this place right here, and that's all we did so far. And it's by default it's in master branch. So to check what branch we are on, actually we want to make sure that we push this to the repository. So we do again git status. You can run git status after every step, just make sure that it's going on. And you click git status, and it says on branch master nothing to commit, working tree clean. So now we tracked that file, it was new, we pushed it, we committed it to the repository, and now it says there is nothing new, right? Everything that we did, we tracked, it's good to go, it's here in this place. But this is still only in our local host. So if you remember the Git Kraken, or let me pull this other one, or those UIs that I was telling you about, like a graphical interface for what we just did. Let's see. So this is that Git Kraken soft program. I say I want to open the new repository, and I know that I just created one that it's inside this test. And I don't know if you see, I can't zoom this one, but you see it's master branch, and there it is, the initial commit, the message that we did, right? With the commit -m command that we did in the right here when we did this part right here. We said, okay, commit this changes now, and just type some message so we know what's going on. Initial commit, and it's right here. And if you click on that, it will show you what file. Usually you have tons of files here that you worked on in this part, but right now we only have one, and you click on that one and it gives you what changed. In this case, everything is new, so everything is green, and you'll see what's going next. So this is just on our local host, and this software is just giving you a little bit of visual representation of what is going on. Later on you will just use command line, you will not really go back to this that much. So now we're good, everything is set up in our Atom, we're done. But then we go back next day and we want to start typing some content, whatever. We say this is our test, we save this file, and now if we go back to Git, we say git status, it says, oh, okay, we have another modified file, and it's again in red, which means we never submitted to that repository. So it's untracked, it says it's not tracked, changes not staged for commit. So we do again the same thing. So we go to git add index.html. The one that you're gonna be using is index add dot, which will add, if you have like 100 those files that are changed, you will do git, instead of going git add and everyone, right? You just do git add period, and then it will add them all. So we do git status now. Should be green, right? So it says okay, it's ready. It's in staging, and now we can do git commit m. Always we wanna m is for message, and then we say okay, added heading whatever -h1. You for your real projects you want to kind of describe what you did in this part of work, so you know when you go in your git um, tree you can see what we did, right? So this change is not here yet because we did not commit it. So now we're committing this one, and it says okay, we say git status, and it says nothing there because now this new index file is being pushed again to the master branch. So now we track the first part, and we have the second one all in the same um, branch. So if in git kraken, if we go back, we close this, and now you see there is the second commit that we just did with the message there. So if you click on this first commit and you click on the file, you see there is no h1, right? It's the first thing that we did. It was without the h1, and then now the second commit, it shows you what changed. So it tells you, okay, you see it doesn't show me the whole file, but it tells me only the part that I changed. So you see we deleted this, actually it was empty line, and now the green one is the new one that we added. So it's this one. So let's say you don't want to do this change. Instead of, imagine you did 50 lines, instead of deleting them and going back, you can just go back and revert to the previous commit. You can revert to this part and it's gonna be the original file, but we'll do that later. I don't want to confuse you right now, but that's what it's used for, right? You can keep track of stuff. So so far we covered three commands actually. Git add is when you add files that are read, that are changed and new and untracked, and git commit with the -m flag, which is for message, is when you actually push it to repository. Git status is another command that you run all the time just to make sure that you have all the files, what is going on, and stuff like that. So now, what should I do now? Let's do the other. We have to do it. So this is very basic. We'll do a few other commands in a little bit, but this is, as of right now, do you have any questions on this one? Feel free, ask me anything. Are you getting idea where this will be useful in the future when you start working? Are you getting idea where you can have that useful, or not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. That's all right. You
Like I get the theoretical construct of it that when we build something, we will use this to reference earlier models.
yes,
Right?
yes.
Earlier builds. But given that we have kind of zero utility is
You'll see the second part when I add you helping me with this project, for example. You will see where we can work on the same things, on the same code at the same time without overriding each other. That's where we're gonna create branch for you and branch for me, and we both work off of the same code base, but we don't override each other. And then once you're done with your stuff, we just merge back to this master repository, master code, and then when I'm done, I merge inside here too, and now master has both mine and your stuff at the same time. So that's where the power is, but it gets a lot more complicated with like hundreds of people working on the same thing, and it gets conflicts and stuff. But for us, we will use it just to get the workflow in, of tracking stuff. Um, and then also, what is the greatest thing if you can do it is to share your code with other people. That's when what we're gonna push now to GitHub, and then it's gonna be public to everyone to use it. And you do something great, and you say, okay, here is where you can find that code that I did. So now we gotta go back to We want to be able to push from our what we just did now with this test um, folder. We want to push this project now to GitHub. So now, so far was only on our computer, but we want to push it to be remote as well. And it's giving us a little bit of explanation right here. We did this part. We initiated it. README is something that gives you explanation on the bottom, like, oh, this repository is about this and all that stuff. But we'll do that some other time. Then they imagine you created this file and you edit it, you add to staging, and then you commit it. And now this part is what we need when we say, okay, we want to have remote repository as well. So far we only have local, but with this command right here, we're gonna have, okay, I want to add remote repository right now, so I can push these changes that I just did also to the remote one. But you need to run this command in order for your Git to understand what you're trying to do. And you all have this URL right here. This is URL for your own repository, and we will need this inside this command. So I'm gonna, before actually we are able to run, we need, remember when I said we need to copy our SSH key to this GitHub account, so it knows that your computer can talk to this GitHub. And we do that when you go to your and you can all do this part with me. So you go here to your account drop down, and you go to settings, and Mac people will wait just 5 seconds on this one, because it's separate, it's different from for Windows, and um, it's easier for Mac. That's why I say let's do Windows first. So you go to settings and click on SSH and GPG keys. And you see I already have some here set up. That's how you will have your, and you can name different ones. Hopefully we can get to have this one as well. I have set up for you WordPress sites online, but we'll see starting next week. We need to practice this part for the following week so we can do that fun stuff next week. So you are all here, right? Windows users, you're here. So you click on new SSH key and you name it whatever you want. You name it personal.
Name it whatever you want.
Yes, that doesn't matter. You can name it whatever you want. Whatever you want. Okay, with hyphens or without. Luis, you good? You're there?
Yeah.
Melody, you already have it connected, or yes? So now in this part right where it says key, you still have that SSH key generator open.
Yes.
So copy that key, select everything inside.
The fingerprint
Yes. So
or the public key for passing or the green.
I have to see. I don't remember.
This part, right?
Exactly. So yes, that whole piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just copy paste it.
Or with them. Yes.
Or
Go ahead with them.
I got it.
You will do with command. It's a lot easier. So this is for Windows right now,
okay.
and we'll do Mac in just a second. So you copy there. You add SSH key, click SSH.
And this is the unsecure version of the window.
No, this is exactly how you do it.
No, because we did not create the key passphrase, so it's slightly less secure.
Slightly, yes, that's correct. I stand corrected. Yes, you're right.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, he pasted this here, so we can do Mac users right now. So you're authenticated now with this key that you copied. Your computer, GitHub allows your computer to talk to GitHub. That's all.
So yeah. So then once we finish the Mac, I will ask the next question.
Okay, so for Mac users, it's just this command right here inside your terminal. It's pb copy. Oops, I'll be back to this. So let's move this a little bit. And these are all stuff that web developers are doing. So this is right a little bit advanced class, and I wanted to for you guys to experience that real stuff. Uh, it's not gonna be clicking in the navigation. It's a little bit command line stuff, and uh, but believe me, you will get in front of this in your work, and it's a lot it's beneficial if you already know that. And they might ask you on interviews, they will probably require, Jim, you can tell you've been on recent on interviews, right? It's probably required on 99% of places, if not 100.
It's amazing what's required.
But yeah, a lot more, but this is like in 8 weeks will
No,
get
you're
you
right.
a lot to get familiar with things. Yes, somebody had a question.
Yeah, it says no such follow directory whenever I type
Okay, so let me just press enter here so you can see what you should get there. Um,
Yeah, I got nothing. Just type it in.
so when you type this and oh yeah, okay, so if you get nothing, that's okay, that's a different command, because it did copy control C kind of thing. It found that file and copied into the clipboard. So if I do command V, you see it's pasting it out.
Okay.
But for you, if it says that there is no such a file, then that's different problems. So whoever got that right, you go to your GitHub and you just paste this here like that, right? So that pb copy command that we did, it copied your SSH key, and you go to your GitHub to the settings and SSH key right here, and then click new SSH key. You name it somehow, like in my personal computer. You want to know that this key is, and then you click paste for control or command, and then you do add new key, and you're all good. Now your computer will talk to that Git repository.
So when I typed it in and I hit enter, it copied it for me on its own.
That's like
Okay.
that's the beauty of command line, right? You see how it's making it easy. In the beginning, it's like all these commands, whatever. But you start doing them, and you realize, oh, I can do all these things straight from command line. I don't need to go find them in the folders, and that's why I'm kind of insisting a lot on using command line, so you can actually see, not be scared of it. You can see that it's beneficial.
And I
it.
started
When I
using
typed it
command
wrong, but
prompts
then I
to
didn't get it.
Enables us to have a secure state.
Um,
Forever without secure connection. No big deal.
Oh, you're using like you need a command? Or is that?
No,
You need a last or
It's not hard to see, but it's
but I did that there.
it's like a first step.
But it's still totally wrong.
Anyway, this is my replacement for one too, because it wasn't being offered this semester, so but I needed, that's one of the ones I needed to take. So yeah, web design too. And so I figured, because I took one of the classes, it's all very good HTML. Yeah, with Miss Mariana. Yeah.
I didn't know that
And then someone's like, oh, what too? Like, more dreamy words. And I'm just like, so different. I have no idea what's happening.
So this is I'll do this.
Really?
When I did get
See, I was under the wrong impression because of that. But like when you told me, like, oh yeah,
So now you're
they kind of laughed.
they know how to
What? Like, I thought that was like industry standard.
Sir? Yes, sir. Yeah, really is.
This in your that's just this.
using the browser.
So let me just pull this. So just type this command again, because probably something didn't run right. Try SSH hyphen. So no questions about tracking files that one file that we did earlier. That's awesome.
So this, there's a video.
You have GitHub.
Oh, yeah. Your developer. So if you make changes,
Usually I type that.
reflected on the website. I have two screens. So you can see it.
Gotcha.
You can make changes here. It's not permanent. And then you can see under over here, like
Actually, I think it's on.
Did you?
Yeah.
This.
So,
You did nothing, we were actually copy.
and then what you would do is you would copy and paste that line, copy that line, and paste it in the
SSH.
section. And then you save it. And then it's a real
And now
change.
since,
What's this kind of
since
like
you
viewing?
all are,
Oh, okay. So you try all the different changes.
since you all are authenticated now, we can go ahead and push the changes that we did. We can push them up to this remote repository. So I want to see my changes here. So you see here on the bottom, you will see your projects, and then the one that I want is this portfolio, and it gives me the URL right here. You guys are good to go?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry.
So no, I'm just trying to get in time.
Yeah,
We're
I know,
close.
I know. It's tough.
Because this is the last piece to just push these changes from our local host that we did, that index HTML that we created. We want to push this now to the remote, our own project. So when you go to your project, you see this URL right here. It gives you, make sure the SSH is clicked, like checked, because that's how we're gonna push to using SSH. There's another way to push using HTTPS, but it will ask you every time to type your password for the GitHub, and that's annoying. You don't want to do that. So you want to use this, and you see it's telling you the command right here, what you gotta do. So we can copy this part. So in order to add, well, I'm looking up there. In order to add, to tell Git that we wanna, let me see how to explain this. So we need to tell Git now that we want to add remote repository also. Git automatically tracks on our local host, what we did earlier, but we want now to have the same this master and all these changes to have it on GitHub. So it's going to be the same thing, but on remote, so you can access it from anywhere. Other people can access. When you work with in a team, people can. This is your base, and you all work on your local computers, but you all want to push here at the end of your work. So in order to do that, GitHub gave us help here how to do that. So we do that with the git remote add is the command. So it's telling you Git, okay Git, we want to work with remote repository, add new one. And now these two pieces, this obviously is the URL of your repository, which gives you right here. And this origin is name of your, how you want to name that repository on your local computer. So instead of typing every time in the future the whole this URL, you're just going to type origin. So that's like replacement, right? I mean, I want origin to actually mean all this. So I want to work with remote, add a new one, and then I want to name it origin, and I want that to live in this location. So we just copy this same command. I'm gonna call it origin. Click enter. So to command, now it's done, right? And in order to see that I have something set up, it's git remote -v, which is give me all the versions of remote that I have set up on my in this folder. So it gives me, okay, I see this repository and you named it origin. And by default, if we don't change, the branch that we are working on is master. Always like that. It's always master. So now we want to remember when we do git status, there is nothing to commit on branch master, so we are in master branch. We don't have anything. We pushed already all the changes, but now we want to push them to the remote, and that we do that with this command git push, and then we say, okay, where we want to push to origin. That's how we named this long URL, right? We just name it shorter. So we say, okay, we want to push to that origin repository, and you always needs to say what branch, because you might have a lot of branches. So we want to say master. So we say we want to git push to that origin repository in a master branch, and you click enter, and it should connect to my if I have internet connection. It looks like I don't have anymore. Did I lose it? No, I didn't. So it should work. Come on. What's going on? When you do this, what they explain here with the -u, that means that next time you can just do git push. You don't need to type origin master. It means, okay, from now on, remember that this is my repository and my branch I want to work in. But you gotta remember when you change branches to do that again. So for now, you can just do git push, name of the repository, and then the branch. And I really don't know why this didn't work. That's
Are
not.
we still observing, or are we actually doing this as well?
I'm sorry.
All this, are we doing this, or?
You can do it later.
have to
You don't.
do this on Friday, like on Sunday, because the child thing that you created needs to be submitted through this.
Okay, thank you, Bilal.
Sorry.
So basically, this I really don't know. I think it's something with the connection right now. But this should, let's see, maybe it went out there, but I don't think so. That's weird.
You're on the Wi-Fi, it might be blocking you.
Yeah, it might be, I don't know, maybe something with this connection. I'll check next time before the class. But basically, this is the last step that you gotta do. And we have all